Oh, yes, here we go, folks. It's Tuesday. Anybody ever remember foosball? A bunch of plastic men on a stick, and you spin it and kick the ball back and forth. Foosball tables. You don't see them anymore. Air hockey. I was good at air hockey. Hello, Mr. Hinkle. That little blue puck, I was the king of the air hockey table. I'd get so intense on that puck would fly off the table. My sister used to get mad. You win every time. I said, I know. I'm air hockey king. I remember I was the king of the table in the Nugget Casino in Carson City, Nevada. My dad would be downstairs gambling, and they had a playroom for children. They had TV set, coloring books, blocks, toys, and air hockey. And I loved air hockey. Kids were like, I don't even want to play. You always win. Wow, that was the only thing I was good at. Hello, Faith. How are you? How do you deal with people in 2026? Oh my gosh, I feel like when I go to work, I'm at daycare. Got a female coworker that doesn't want to do what she's told. A female coworker that knows exactly how to do everything. She even started calling the box we put on the pallet to put stuff in a Gaylord. I'd never heard of a Gaylord. I said, you'll need a pallet and you'll need the box set up. And she told me one day, I can pack a Gaylord faster than anybody. And I thought to myself, no, you can't. She took 8 hours to box up and put in a Gaylord 100 items. A new trainee, a gentleman, took less than 5 to pack up 200 items. And when I get on something, they need to have a sign on my back that says, keep back 50 feet, not responsible for broken windshields. I tell people, don't get too close to me when I'm working. My cousin had a habit. I'd be shoveling snow and he'd get right behind me. I wouldn't see him and bam. Oh my gosh. He'd run in the house. Michael hit me with a shovel. I said, man, I didn't know he was behind me. Faith, people are tough in the workplace today. It's 2026 and it's a mess. The work ethic is different. What is she? 45, 49, 10 years younger than me. And she's a know-it-all. I had kids. I'm this, I'm that. Don't you love those people? They brag themselves up. And then as you get to work with them, you go, you can't follow directives. You can't just listen and be trained. You're the queen. So she'd been doing this. And I've learned to get smart. I've learned to play undertow. Because in a world where you try to stand up, people say, oh, I confront stuff. Well, I'm not management. When I try to confront something, we get and I get 10 minutes of diatribe. And I said, you know what? And our shipping clerk came, started printing pick tickets. I started pulling items. And I said, hey, where is she? And then the bay door was open. And I said, oh, she's out there helping him. And he goes, really? He said, I'm going to text a super. So he texts. I said, I'll tell you what, the next time you get a pig ticket, walk out and hand it to her. And he goes, I'll do that. Then we started getting them. And he said, hey, we got pig tickets. I'm going to need you. Okay. 30 minutes went by. She continued doing her thing. So he took a picture of her with the other guy, took a picture of the piling, poll tickets, Send the supervisor. Supervisor called one of the owners who was there. He came out. I just happened to see when I came from the other warehouse. I said, "Oh, she's getting talking to." And then I got done with what I was doing, came to the pack table, and she's holding up some, and her hands are going like this. She goes, "I'm really, Brooklyn accent. I'm really pissed off right now. I'm so tired. I've never been yelled at. Yeah, I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to be here long. And, I'm trying to work, and I don't understand. They're getting mad at me for working." And I said, unless, and I named the names. I said, unless this one or this one tell you to do something different, you work here with us. I said, I know he's your friend. That has nothing to do with it. He's my friend, but that has nothing to do with it. He can't be lifting that. I said, but that's not your job. I said, you told me you got a bad back and you shouldn't be lifting those 100-pound items yourself. I said, all you have to do is work for us. And unless they tell you, don't take that on. You cannot communicate common sense. And for the rest of the day, I had to hear blubbering about it. And I said, look, you need to get this off your mind. I need you to smile, focus on the task. Well, I've never been talked to like this. Nobody's ever had a problem with me. And I thought, I don't believe that for a minute. But I didn't say that. How do you deal with clowns in 2026? How do you deal with emotionally driven, logic women in the workplace? You know what she reminds me of? This book says it all. The women are the weaker vessel. Ooh, did you just say that? That's what the word says. But watch this. Hello, Binod, and welcome back. Women don't want to be told that. Oh, we can do anything a man can do and better. No, you can't. I saw where Alyssa Liu, now she's the big star, the raccoon of the Olympics. Have you seen the hair? Blonde, black, blonde, black. No offense. I know people look at me and they go, wow, you judge. Why is it that women got to do things to stand out in the most obnoxious way? I mean, now we've gotten so conditioned. Well, she's representing the U.S. She did good in the Olympics. She's a world-class skater. Okay, cool. But Russians are world-class skaters and they're not dyeing their hair like a raccoon. Hello, Loka. Hello, Jimpy. Welcome, everybody. I turned on the lives this morning and I just peruse. I don't stay there. And this is what I see. Can you see it? No, you can't. She had 2,700 likes. I'm not sure if she's Japanese or what. I mean, she's pretty. But through the whole video, she's doing this. She's got her little skimpy wear. And I laugh because people come to me when I wear my stuff. And all that is right there. Well, it's the phallic Olympics. That's it. And that's what it's become. None of us guys are going to have a relationship with that girl. None. That's out of our realm, folks. So now people can stare at her and lust after her and do God knows what while they're watching her on video. She really has no content. Is feminism causing toxic masculinity? I think, well, first of all, what women define as toxic masculinity, I hold that suspect. I've noticed that there's a group of women, they don't want us men to be men. They want to be the men. And that's called toxic feminism. I'm going to be honest. When I look at a girl like that, I'm not going to look at that and think, wow, she's an intellectual. We could really connect. She's smooth and clean shaven, and she wears skimpy shirts. And there's only one thing that's going to be on most guys' mind that show up on that channel. Oh, she's hot. Alyssa Liu. I haven't watched her skating. I haven't watched it. One of my moderators and very good friends said she was a class act. She hugged everybody from different countries. And I said, I hope you're not mad at me. And he goes, no. He said, our friendship is not eggshell, it's iron. And he allows for dissent. And so do I. Jackie, I don't paint all women with the same brush. If you listen in, if you get on the internet, there's a lot of men bashing that's been going on for decades. The TV, the media did it. So I like to tell my story. I love women, but I give equal treatment, and it needs to be done. Why does Alyssa Liu got to dye her hair like a raccoon? And what's funny is that people today, they don't want to just be a lady. They don't want to look good and natural. They do these bizarre things to stand out, like that one in the soccer. I can't remember her name. She was not a pretty woman. She dyed her hair moldy green. She was pro-lesbian and stomped on the flag and Rapino or whatever her name was. I mean, it's like, wow, it's like, what happened to just being a lady? And now we have women in the men's world. I'm in a warehouse. Women shouldn't be in the warehouse. That's a man's world. Forklifts, moving heavy stuff. That's our domain. But I'm not discriminatory. I see this doesn't work. I already trained a woman months ago, and she wanted to sit on her phone and play around. I said, don't let management see you do that. I liked her, but she was very young, and she was going to do her own thing, and she didn't make it past 3 days. This one wants to do her own will and then get mad when she's confronted. And it's like, do what you're told. And there's something in some of these women, I'm not going to do what I'm told. Well, if you want a job, you kind of have to. I have to do what I'm told. I got you, Oda. I got you. I'm critical because, and I'm going to get myself in fire here, but that's okay. I'll be vulnerable. I was put down a lot for thick glasses, teased, and I was teased by women. They were brutal to me growing up. Nasty. My mother was abusive. I don't know Alyssa Liu, but the envelope is always pushed. Oh, let's go back to Dorothy Hamilton. Do you remember who she is? Do you know who she is? She was a class act skater for the United States, and she really represented America with a sense of class. I will never criticize her. Never. She had poise and grace. I think of Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy. I'm not a Democrat supporter, but Jackie Kennedy, out of all the women, she was pretty. The way she dressed, the way she carried herself was second to nobody. I voted for Trump, and everybody's in this. It doesn't matter what it is. When people are all on something, they're all on something. So everybody, oh, Trump's the first lady of Trump is the best, the prettiest. No, she's not. Jackie Kennedy was head and shoulders above every first lady ever. I can be objective, and I believe I am. The certain community got behind Obama and said, oh, Michelle Obama's the prettiest first lady. No, she wasn't. You're just saying that because she's of that ethnicity and you're of that ethnicity. And people say, well, you're saying that. Condoleezza Rice was a class act. She was a black woman, very pretty, very slender. She carried herself extremely well. So I can be objective about women. Absolutely. Hello, Gerald. How are you? Hello, Big Mike. Hello, CB. Gerald, we need to do that. Lord, I lift up my brother Gerald. He's going through a rough time, and we pray, God, that you would be with him. I don't know what he's going through, but I have felt that. We all have gone through those times, and we pray, God, that he would sense your presence. We pray, God, that you would help him to draw close to you and that you'd draw close to him. Remind him, God, that you said you'll never leave us nor forsake us. It does feel like that today. I was just thinking yesterday that it's hard to focus on you. Our distractions are everywhere. You're at work. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's so easy to just drift into this routine or routine. I ask God that you help Gerald and help encourage him. And we lift him up in prayer, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Dorothy Hamilton was symbolic of an era when America had a sense of class about everything. And even me, I've done things that many people question, when they see me wearing stuff like this, and I get it. But even me, when I talk about the older generation, we've lost something. That woman behind me is cute. I have a preference for Asian women. I think they're beautiful. But she's on YouTube wearing basically that same shirt every time she airs. It's just soft porn, folks. When I look at Alyssa Liu, I think of furries. I think of, it's hard for me to get past. It's like when Serena Williams and her sister got into tennis. The women in tennis, the men in tennis were very class act. And when the two sisters got in there, it was like, oh my gosh, it changed it. And maybe I'm having a hard time because even me, even though I try to be hip in current events, I'm guilty. If I'm going to represent the Olympics, I'm not going to come out wearing this stuff. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not going to dye my hair like a raccoon. Mailer, I'm done with dating apps. I stopped that in 2015 and I'll never do it again. I went all the way to Hong Kong because of dating. I dated a Filipina for 4 years, got deeply involved with that. 3 trips, $20,000 later, 4 years later, waste of time, as I call it. What a waste of time. I've chased women on dating sites. They've chased me. I have nothing to show for it. And I found that working hard, saving and disciplining and all that, I own a house, cash free or no mortgage. I remodel it. I go to work. I go home. And I'd like to date a woman, but it's so tumultuous today. It's not like the 70s or the 80s. It's 2026. I have to navigate an ocean today of the following things: a culture that embraces marijuana, a culture of women that embrace lots of drinking and partying, a culture of women that are just obsessed with dogs, SUVs, and Starbucks, men that I'm not comfortable with most men. The overly macho, the aggressive gays, And even people that are just 15, 20 years younger than me are not made of the same material that our Gen X men are. It's a trap out there. I feel like a beautiful ocean liner surrounded by U-boats with their periscopes up, and they've got their torpedo tubes all facing my ship. You have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful. It's such a stupid world. And for me to get on a dating site, I'm sick of it. I left that 11 years ago. The money I've saved by not dating has been in the tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars. When I bought my M35A2, people were like, Mike, why'd you buy that? Because I don't. And I sold it. Dating and getting involved with somebody costs more than just the money. I'm a man. If I had that pretty thing sitting next to me with her arms wrapped around my neck, I'd be like, okay, I'm in heaven. But really, I don't think that that's going to work. I am going to be 60 next week. Lou admitted that she dropped the pronouns and the gay flags from her social media. She said, I've outgrown them. Well, that's good. I guess I have some old school values. As much as I don't dress in a suit and tie, I bought a shirt the other day that I'm going to wear for a work shirt only. I will never dress up in that sense. But I bought this shirt and I thought, my viewers, I'm going to wear it one day. That's as far as I'm going to get, folks. Right there. A fake one. Look at this. This does not fit me, man. Hey, how you doing, Bill? Oh, I'm doing good, Ted. How's it going? Want to go on an excellent adventure? Yeah, maybe we'll have to look into that. Sheesh. This is so not me, but I saw the shirt and I said, I got to get that just for spoof. Maybe I should do my YouTube videos wearing this. That's as professional as I'm going to get, folks. Why? Well, send me a picture, Colette. I'll put you out there. Yes, I'll change it to this. Colette, you want to tell the room what that is? Colette's getting tired of looking at a woman's underarms. That is Colette's property in New Zealand. She told me I could share it. Isn't that beautiful? How'd you like to look at that every day? That's awesome. Most women like men dressed up. They like men in uniforms, and I'm not that. I never will be. Jiggly, I can't. I'm not into the sportswear. I'm not into Nike. Here in Augusta, so many people look like a Nike advertisement. And it's like, wow. People lose their identity. Aunt Mary, how are you? Aunt Mary and I work together, folks. She drives a school bus where I worked. Does not look me. I'm going to have fun with this shirt. Show up at work and people are going to be like, really? I remember seeing a woman wearing flesh-colored outfit. I mean, from the back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that woman is naked. And you came around the front and you're like, oh my, it's clothing. Garth, Big Mike, what are you talking about? Aunt Mary, I think you're an awesome person. You used to encourage me every time you came up to the pumps to fuel up. And I missed that. You were fun to work with. Oh my gosh, Ellie's in the house. Ellie, where have you been? I thought you fell off the Philippines. Hong Kong was awesome. But I went through a lot living there. Wear a stovepipe hat. Oh, the world's a bad place. Hey, I wish I had enough money to buy Colette's property and house. I'd love to do live videos from that scene. That's New Zealand, folks. Would I live in China? Not unless they invited me to come and speak. Xi Jinping would not like Michael. I don't think they'd want me there because I am not pro-communist. I will never go to Hong Kong again. The only way I'd go is if I was invited to speak and I got paid good money. I'm done with Hong Kong. When the relationship didn't work out, I showed plenty of votes, and what goes on in Hong Kong stays in Hong Kong. Ellie, I'm glad you're still working. I'm glad you're pushing through. I'm proud of you. I know you've been through a lot, and I'm proud of you. Big Mike, nobody has accused me of that. Who are you? Joined 21 minutes ago. Yeah, I thought so. Clowns need to leave the room. Bye, Big Mike. Step up to my mic, not yours. Oh, my little oil radiator's doing its job. I can shed some clothing. Colette, you've got a beautiful piece of paradise. Ellie, you nailed it. He's gone. I think that was Andrew. Andrew gets up at the same time I do. He's got his little TV guide there for the time when Mike comes on, and he's got his list of brand new IDs to come in and troll. And another one just got hidden forever. It's really sad. This is the one that trolls me every single day. That right there. Isn't that a classy picture of that guy? Yeah. Trolls are something else. Yep, man, Mary, this guy's been at it for 11 years. He lives in Alexandria, Virginia. He was in the military. His folks are in the military. Father's now deceased. He's just been at it. Yep, jiggly. Paper, metal, paper, and the paper absorbed the electrolyte in the water. Gerald, the workplace isn't just where you go to do work. It's a psychological battleground today. Mailer, I'm not going to repeat here. I've done videos. You can dig back into the archives. I've gone at length about his clown antics. Andrew's upset because he didn't have to have a gay frolic in the bed with me, and that's what it boils down to. I talked in a video about aggressive homosexual guys, and he's one of them, and I'm not interested in him, never was interested in him, didn't even know who he was, and he came out swinging in 2015 and threatened me with death threats, doxed me, my house, my folks, my son, my ex. He's an idiot. Jiggly, you think that that's peak content? That's crazy. Jiggly, where are you from? How old are you? I don't know what it's titled. It's wrapped throughout many. Oh, did you get some antibiotics, Cooper? That's nasty stuff. Canada, all right. I like Canada, but I don't like Justin Trudeau, and I'm glad he's out of office. Summer, fire away. Flaxen, good. I was just thinking this morning, let me get rid of this. This is not a pretty scene. How about if we just go back and look at Colette's property? I have sore trout. Oh, you have a sore throat? Ellie, it's from yelling all the time. Yelling at all those people coming in a gas station. You got to stop that. Ellie, you got to try these. I know you got them in Philippines, right? Try the ginger chews. I got to turn off the screen thing. Come on now. These are good for the throat. These are awesome. Have you heard about that virus called the super spreader? My boss got it, or my supervisor. I'm like, oh my gosh, please stay home. I don't want to catch that. They say people are just throwing up. U.S. put BTA on Canada. Yeah, Haywood, I agree with you. Yeah, he thinks he's God's gift to the world. Legend in his own mind. He would live out through Roman expired warriors, Legatus Lanius and Robert House and all these video game, role play clowns. You do not keep getting banned because you're conservative. Jiggly, I'm wondering if you're a troll. Come on. I have never banned you unless you're doing something dumb. You got a boyfriend, Ellie? You better be careful. Oh. Jiggly, I had to do a double take because I thought you had Jiggly butt for an ID and it's Jiggly buff. Yeah, YouTube likes to censor people that tell the truth. They're very good at that. Man, Justin Trudeau would have banned you. That was the biggest clown to ever run Canada. He should have worn a court jester outfit. It would have looked good on him. Him and Gavin Newsom should marry each other. They are so identical, it's not even funny. No, I can't stand him. If he runs for president, I'm going to ask Ellie if I can be a roommate and pay her rent. Because I don't want to live in a country run by Newsom. I'll stand shift with Ellie at the gas station all night. They'll be laughing. An American. have some tea. Sore throat, Ellie and Cooper, have some ginger or ginseng, some peppermint tea with some honey. All right, Summer, you asked a question. All right, come on, Summer, ask me because I lose my focus. Everybody's distracting. You're like those Asians eating on live stream. Hey, you want me to use that little curved spoon and slurp? They did that in Hong Kong. It didn't bother me because I got used to it. Wow, no, I did not, Clark. Because we're tempted. Premarital sex is wrong. God says that we're supposed to abstain from sexual immorality. And I talked about that yesterday. I said, we have a very casual attitude about that. Hollywood has glorified it. Our society has glorified it. If you're not out there doing it, your coworkers and people will laugh. You know, the big question, everybody, man, did you get laid? And Christians should say, no, I did not. And if I did, it's none of your beeswax. You know, it's something of a man's stallion that you did it. But if a woman does it, oh, they call her all kinds of nice little names. I've always marveled at that one. A woman is a WHORE, but if a man does it, oh, he's cool. Really? One does it, they get a medal, the other one's shamed? Hey, Sam, how are you? Wait a minute. That is not the same Sam. What is going on? Sam, sometimes I have the comments turned off. Martial law in South Korea? I didn't even know about that. Summer, because the flesh, I've talked about this, it feels awesome. If sin weren't fun, nobody would do it. Everybody in here struggles with lust. It's the struggle. Paul says, I do the things I do not want to do. When I want to do good, evil is right there with me. So what's the most confused thing on the internet, Justin? You want to tell the room for us? I'm always willing to learn. Parasocial relationship? It means you have a relationship with somebody on social media, I'm guessing. In other words, it's a form of role play. There's a guy that was engaged and he decided to have a relationship with AI, proving that our society has a lot of fake, superficial people. Who would want to have a relationship with a bot? Hey, Navarro. That is weird. What is the point? I know a guy that wanted to have a sex doll years ago. I said, for me, that's a no. I don't need a blow-up doll. I've never used one, and I'm not going to. There's no substitute for a woman. None. My AI girlfriend dumped me, Clark. That's sad. What did you do? Man, you really blew it. Yeah. Bible talks about using profanity. And that's another thing, myself included. We become comfortable with profanity. Ellie, are you still here? I thought it was a relationship with a ghost. Lindsay, that's funny. I couldn't have a relationship with a fake. Come on, man. I've had a couple of online relationships in the past. I had one with a woman that I call Maharani in Australia many, many years ago. Lasted about a year and it went down in flames. And then that clown trolled her. What in there? Grown man threatening women on the internet. Max, people are making video shorts with AI. And I'm amazed that people don't have their own content. There's only one ghost I believe in, Summer, and it's the Holy Ghost. The Bible talks about spirits, demons. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe a building or a ship or a cemetery is haunted. A place may seem spooky. Most of it's all in our brain. But if you want to hang out in a cemetery in the middle of the night, you're spooky. I have no desire to go to a graveyard at night. Your senses will be on edge just to begin with. So you'll be seeing and hearing all kinds of things. They're dead people underfoot. They don't come out and dance at night and go, woo! They don't do that. They're dead. Their souls are not there. And they're not running through the graveyard acting weird. Demon possession is real. The Bible talks about the man in the Gadarenes. In the land of Gadarenes was a man who was unclean. His name was Legion, for there were many. When Jesus came, there wouldn't be any. Think about that. Legion. What is that, 1,000 or 10,000? Can you imagine? What is your name? Legion. We are many. Oh, this is going to be a fun day. Even an American psychologist couldn't deal with that one. And they begged Jesus, send us into the herd of swine. Why did they want to go into the piggies? What value do the demons have in going into the piggies? Well, whoever was herding the pigs in Israel, that was a no-no. What, do we got a pork industry going on over here and it's supposed to be kosher? Oops. And the herd rushed down the hill into the lake, into the sea. Now imagine all that. You got a guy out there with chains on. Like the one around my neck, chains. He broke the chains and he's naked. Imagine taking your kids by the cemetery and the tombs and you got this clown out there doing all that. That'd scare the stuff out of people. But Jesus cast the demons out of him into the swine. The swine rushed, a couple thousand of them? A lot of piggies. And the people ran back to the town nearby and told people what happened. And the people came out and said, leave. They weren't comfortable with that. They wanted Jesus to leave. Really? You just got rid of the town clown. Hey, I'm Blake Trump. Hey, Aunt Mary, you have a good day. Be safe out there. Thanks for coming in. Cops ran you off. It didn't poison the sea. I think there were a couple things going on there. Number one, the pig herders were, what are they herding pigs for? Jews were not supposed to eat pork. This was a Jewish town. Somebody was making the money off pork. But the people came out. They'd rather have a demon-possessed fool banging chains and running around naked and acting weird in the tombs than the guy being in his right mind. And the pork barrel owners, well, they weren't happy because now they just lost all their money. Their business went straight into the water. And the town people, that's what happens when Jesus comes into your life. Your friends that you had before you were a Christian, they're out of there. They're going to tell you, hey, get away from us. You're one of them Bible thumpers. We get out, get away. They'd rather have you participating in their sin and drinking and smoking and doing all the things. They don't want you. The meaning? Summer, that's an easy one. People wonder why they get their car repoed. They wonder why they get a lien against their house. Well, if you don't pay your bills, you lose the car and you lose the house. And same thing applies if we keep sinning. God is patient. He doesn't treat us as our sins deserve. But there are consequences. If you do a life of drugs, yes, you can be forgiven. You can even stop the drugs, but the drugs may have damaged things where you will never be able to have a relationship because you destroyed part of your nervous system, and you will never be able to be in a healthy relationship because I know this. I dated a woman briefly in Denver. She's actually in Wheat Ridge or Westman. I can't remember which one, Arvada or Wheat Ridge. She was right on the edge of the border. She had done so much meth and she stopped. She was cute. Well, I didn't know she lost all her teeth and had dentures until I saw them sitting on her nightstand. I was like, she was much younger than me. And when I was over at her place, she'd freak out about the dumbest things. She'd go, why is that cup there? I said, what? I come around the corner. I said, I don't know. I didn't drink out of that cup. But there's a cup on my counter. I said, maybe you forgot. I didn't put it there. I said, well, I didn't either. And she freaked out about the simplest stuff. Never do meth. Because when I saw the dentures, she laughed. Man, I got one of my ex-boyfriends hooked on that stuff. And that's when it hit me. She stopped doing it. But guess what? The damage had been done. That I could never have a relationship. Everything's a big issue for her. She freaks out about everything. I would have to retool myself so much. I'd have to walk on eggshells. No. Run. We all struggle with sin, Summer. But I'm going to tell you something. As I get older, I don't even want all the sex. I have lust. I'm going to be honest with you. Even all that kissing and petting and hands under the shirt is wrong. You're not married. You shouldn't touch a woman that way. I haven't been around anybody in a while. Wow, Mr. Dunham, that sucks. Did you see the U.S. hockey player for the Olympics the other day? Somebody, I don't know if they hit him with the stick, but half his teeth were out of his mouth. Man. My drive is there, Jiggly. My drive is there. I think Ellie's attractive. If she was sitting here in my room, I'd have a problem. I've told her that. Ellie's a cute young lady. But she ain't in my room, and women like her aren't standing at my door waiting to date me or mate me. No, my sex drive is just fine. I don't need Viagra, I need Downagra. Summer, the process of reaping applies both good or bad. If I show up at work every day, do my job well, God will bless the little, and you'll find you're saving when you discipline yourself, and you'll reap the fruit of that. You call in all the time, you fool around, you won't be able to cover your bills and expenses, and then you wonder why. The guilt that comes from sinning against God, the reason that we do what we do is because God doesn't come down and zap you right when you do something wrong. The Bible said, if you have sex, I'll blast you with a bolt of lightning. That'd be a good deterrent, but he doesn't do that. And sometimes we get comfortable with that. But let me warn you, just because some people do something over and over and over and over again and get away with it, and then you meet the guy that strays one time. How about the kid that was in the church choir? Got straight A's at school. His parents are so proud of him. And he goes out one night and drives too fast around a curve, has a night of fun, slams into a telephone pole and kills himself. Then you got people that drive like that every day. They cut everybody off. They rude. They don't wait at the stop sign. They blow red lights and nothing happens to them. I don't understand that. And we want to believe that there's cause and effect. Look, we're watching this Epstein stuff come out. Look at the stuff these clowns got away with. Eating babies and calling it jerky and muffins and pizza parties with teens, and none of them have been arrested. Prince Andrew, and it wasn't even for that. It's because he divulged British secrets. They didn't care about the teenage romp he had with Virginia. That's crazy. If I was to go with some Virginia or some underage cutie, my life is done. Haywood, that's all code word for wrong stuff. Grape soda, muffins, the sauce, pizza parties. Pizza parties was a reference to all the teen girls. Well, thank you, LD. It is mind-blowing, Colette. I'm going to use E-Rock as an example. He's going to laugh when I say this because he's got me on his headpiece or his Bluetooth. He has told me about one of his bosses who's a butthead. He has cussed at him and told him off in no uncertain terms. If I was to do that at my job, I'd be fired that day. Yes, Ellie. Epstein had a large group of people involved in the island, underage women. They were harvesting babies out of Colombia. They were cooking their body parts and making jerky out of them and eating it. Cannibalism. These are the rich. And Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, said that if all these people convicted, society would come apart. There's that many people involved in this. It is, Ellie, but you know what? Even normal couples do it. I met a beautiful redhead lady that headed up a school that I drove for the summertime. It was a private international school in Denver, and I drove their bus for their summer excursions. And she said, my husband and I have an open relationship. She was a stunning redhead. She goes, neither of us have done anything yet, but the rule is if I want to go do something with a guy, I just have to let him know. Look at Abraham. God told him and Sarah, you'll have a son. Sarah doesn't believe it. I'm old. Here, why don't you sleep with my handmaid? That'd be like Ellie if she's my wife and she has a domestic helper. Michael, I can't have a baby. You sleep with my maid. What woman in her right mind would tell a man to sleep with another woman? Talk about the messed upness. And then Hagar had a baby, and Sarah, true to form, got butthurt and had jealousy and hated Hagar. Really, you're the one that came up with this brilliant idea, and now you're mad. No offense, just like a woman. Just like a woman, that is a flaw there. Cheaters hate an open relationship. It is messed up. You speak Aramaic, really, Summer? Now, I couldn't even do that. I don't have that. I think YouTube is policing some of the chat. Of course it's cheating. It's basically what you call legalized cheating. You both are okay with it. But God's not up there going, wow, I like that one. God's up there just going, the marriage bed is undefiled and now you're bringing other people into it. No. When I was married to my wife, she worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and she told me that Virginia, Minnesota was what, 7,900 people? Iron Range community. Couples would do swinging and they would go to a bar. Everybody throws their car keys in a pile. And then they reach and grab for keys. And whoever's keys they get, they go home with that person. Colette, yes, you're chatting. I get so tired of this. Not you, Colette, but people saying, I've been banned. I can't chat. If you can't comment, the chat is off. If you can comment, the chat is on. If you can leave a comment on my video, you haven't been banned. Got you, LD. Yeah, YouTube is doing something. We all need to be careful what we say on YouTube, because I, as a channel man, if I say something out of line on another channel, that could get me in trouble. I can talk about it here, but I refrain from leaving a comment that could get me in the pokey. I haven't done any of that, Colette, so I wouldn't know. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I don't even get on YouTube Studio. I have the app, but you need a college degree to figure that mess out. I don't even use it. I stack curse words. Clark, what is that supposed to be? You got a general store with cuss words for sale? Hi, Carol. There aren't 3 dots at the right of my screen because I'm live, but I know what you're talking about. I didn't know they were doing that, LD. I notice you can't say PORN, so they'll do P*RN now. I just say adult material. You're not going to get in trouble for saying adult material. Have you guys heard of adult time? Adulting? That's another word for 2 ladies getting together and bumping CLAMS. That's adult time. It's funny how they've just niced down all this sin. What if you notice profiles works at Krusty Krab? What is that all about? Wasn't that SpongeBob and the Krusty Krab? And women will have on their profile works at Krusty Krab. What's that all about? Hun, there are no 3 dots. I can't do it. I'm live right now. Isn't that funny, Carol? Well, I try to stay away from the word, so now I say adult content. This is for mature audiences only. You notice how they call us mature when we're looking at sin? Isn't that cute? Epstein or Einstein? Einstein was not involved in Fantasy Island. The women didn't like his hair. He was so focused on mathematics that they said he was absolutely boring and dry. Am I mentally stable? I don't know, Kat. Are you a psychologist? Can you analyze me? What's your take? Because the people that participated in this are still alive. And if they're messing with teen girls, I don't care if it's 20 years later, they need to be arrested. Well, then analyze me. Are you male, female? How old are you? What state are you from? I want to see who's analyzing me to see if you're qualified. I want to see your qualifications. Can you run a car wash? Some. When I look at a guy like Einstein, I doubt he had any libido. If he and a woman were making love, he'd be working out some mathematical complication in his brain, and his wife would be going, honey, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this mathematical. Oh, forget it. That's all you think about is numbers. Female from Ohio. There's a lot of females from Ohio. Ohioans are good people. Unless they don't like me, then they're bad people. I lived in Akron, which was the armpit of Ohio. Briefly, ran a troubled respite home. That was a very interesting experience. Drove school buses for 20 years. Worked with youth. Now I deal with adult psychology every day in my workplace. It's quite fun. You don't have to have a psych degree to learn psychology. Just work with people year after year. George Carlin said it. Now, his humor was very crass, and I can't listen to him, but he said, the elites are not part of their club. They do what they want, nothing happens to them. Numbers are what makes life go round. No, God makes life go round. He's the author of it. Numbers are numbers. Numbers prove there's an infinite God, but I'm not a number. Not in God's eyes. You're a body to fill a position at a job. But when you're with God, when you're a Christian, you're a child of the King. Now you have a purpose. Cats, now you're off base. Welcome to the channel of truth. That needs to fall on you to prove it isn't so. And a zoot suit. Here you go, Clark. Here's my zoot suit. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars. Spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Mike Nelson Ritz. Look at the body, cats. I'm not going to get into this with you because you can listen to all my videos where I take on evolution. It is a lie from Satan. You cannot look at the eye. You cannot look at the placement of the facial features on any person and say that just happened by accident. That the body designed its own self through randomness. The tongue with saliva, the taste, there's the ability to chew, break down the food, with a throat that constricts, pushes it down, with an intestinal system, digests, sucks the nutrients out, and sends it out to waste. And you don't have to go poop. It'll push it out, and it will tell you it's time to go. And the bladder and everything works. And all this just happened by accident. And the body produces semen in a man with a sperm that wiggles and gets to an egg. That all just happened. That is so ludicrous. So ridiculous. I am not troll. I eat cheese. Yeah, Colette, that's as far as I'm going to get for dress up. I'm just young-brained. Now that's funny. Young-brained. Summer. Shoot, I remember the days of Yahoo. Can I see your cam? Oh, why do you want to see my cam? Because everybody's going to get naked on cam. That was a very interesting era. People were feeling comfortable to shed their clothing on cam with people they didn't even know. They even have a thing called F-Book. Not Face, but the other one. I remember seeing ads that pop up. Michael, there are people in your area that just want to F. Well, la-di-da. I'm not jumping in that mess. Mr. Erock, are you hearing us? I know you're busy. You probably can't commentate. But if you notice, I don't eat ginger chews in the morning. Oh, people talk about me. We got all kinds out there. There you are. He showed me pictures. I should have downloaded them of the stuff he does and the machinery he runs and laser cutters and steel plating. And this was on a Philadelphia channel. I got a question. Why did the Liberty Bell keep cracking every time they made one? Hi, David. Yeah, imagine if we had 3 more years of Kamala Harris. That would have been a disaster. You think Kamala would have ran this country good? Katz was asking if I had mental issues. I'm going to ask you if you do. Anybody voting for Kamala is not mentally stable. Now, that I will go out and say. I'm not just being mean-spirited. If you can vote for Kamala with a straight face and tell me that that's rational, I'm going to tell you got some mental problems. Word salad queen, accomplished nothing, had affairs with Mr. Brown. CNN and the networks didn't even want to talk about it. But, they're all over Trump's sins. That's what I hate about the media. They blast the sexual sins of a conservative, but they're quiet about Bill Clinton getting a BJ in the Oval Office. Willie Brown's gal, yeah. When I look at Kamala Harris, she looks like somebody be good at giving BJs. I'm not being rude. That's just her face elicits that. You cannot take that woman seriously. She played the black card. Hello, she's 50% India. Biden couldn't stand her, but he put her in there just to play games. All politicking. You know, if I'm going to play that dumb little game, there are black women I could pull in as my side, and it wouldn't have been Kamala. It wouldn't have been anybody from the left. Anybody. Where's Hugh? I don't see Hugh. What is all? I'm lost. What are we talking about? Hush Hugh in regards to anything sexual, Mike. Where's Hugh? Oh, got you. Clark, that's bad. Monica was no peach. No wonder Bill Clinton ever says, wow, that was dumb. I could have had a V8. Those little interns are fluties anyway. I would not want to work in politics. It's too much snakes. They wouldn't like me. They wouldn't like me at all because I wouldn't play dress up and I wouldn't play their games. And I suppose they'd have a dress code on wearing all the ugly, overstuffed outfits that they're forced to wear on Capitol Hill. I'd like to come in just like this. Mr. Nelson, you're not following decorum. Who cares? You guys don't follow decorum ever. You wear the right clothes, but your whitewashed tombstones and inside are full of all kinds of deadness. The same words that Jesus said to the Pharisees can be said to the politicians. Let that sink in. Woe to you hypocrites. You go over land and sea to win a single convert. You make them twice as much corrupt as you. Everything that Jesus said to the Pharisees could be said to today's Democrats. Verbatim. You're all about dress for success, and you guys are wicked, wicked at pedophilia and all the crazy stuff you do and let fly. I do not like the Democratic Party. I never will. Kamala Harris was a disaster. Hillary Clinton is a disaster. She's running her mouth again. It's like, Hillary, shut up. Nobody's into you anymore. You're done. Washed up, beached whale. After farting under the blanket, yeah, Kamala is a sad, sad commentary on that's what feminism, that's what liberal does to women. AOC is a sad, 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 sad anti-white that married a white man. Same with Kamala, married a white guy that looks like Tim Walz. Have you seen a picture of him? Balding, got almost that same facial construct. Tim Putz Walz. Tampon dispensers in men's bathrooms. You know, Tim, science doesn't teach that. So you're going to tell us that the greatest danger facing the world is global warming, and you put tampon dispensers in a bathroom? Okay, I'm not going to believe you. At all. I'm not hearing about the protesters that ICE get their work done and leave. All them butthurt Karens up there got to find something else to do now. Oh, AOC doesn't know what she's talking about. The squad would call for the genocide of us. Let that sink in. Yeah, Colette, isn't that funny? The woman there, I don't know who that is. Hello, Miss True Crimes, how are you? Hochul in New York as a governor, that's a sad joke. Whitmer in Michigan, Gavin Newsom, clowns. Gavin Newsom and Justin Trudeau would be good husbands for each other. They really would make a good gay marriage. They are exactly alike. Peas in a pod. Those two are exactly cut out of the same cloth. And if you take a picture of Gavin, Justin Trudeau, and Osteen and put all of them together, and the mayor of Minneapolis, they all look alike. They all look like they could be brothers. What do they all have in common? They're all corrupt as all get out. Clowns. Go look up their pictures. Go look it up. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Gavin Newsom, the clown mayor in Minneapolis. I always call it Minneapolis because it's spelled MPLS on the airline ticket. Minneapolis. The local call Atlanta the ATL. Chicago back in the day, they used to call it CHI. Although they said chi or shy or what. He does, Carol. Joel Osteen is a Cheshire cat. Takes advantage of sheeple. Sheeple. Gavin Newsom and Justin Trudeau have never, ever operated a push mower. They've never worked a hard day in their life. They're Pillsbury Doughboy politicians telling us what's good for us. They have no concept of the industrial world and how it all works, and nor do they care. Both of those men probably have powder put on their scrotum on a daily basis. They're pampered. They're irrelevant. I want working people running our government, not marshmallow clowns. But look at our society. We can talk about that. But if you're this, Colette, forgive me, you can get all the views, you can get all the likes and all the money sent to you. I mean, basically, she's paid to be a YouTube adult star, soft adult star. I get tired of that. As a man, I get tired of that. That a woman could just parade around and be skimpy on the internet and get all the likes, all the views, and people throw money at her. That's no difference than a TT bar. That's no difference than a strip club. There's no difference. Zero. That's an adult woman. She looks like she's in middle school. That's why guys go after that. Oh my gosh, she looks so young. It's a known fact, guys like younger, firmer women. You don't have to have content if you're a female. If you got looks, you don't have to have a darn thing. Just get out there, wear a skimpy shirt. They'll all come running to you. What is sum sum? I asked my coworker, do you know what dim sum is? I'm against it all, Summer, and I will judge. I have no tolerance for drug usage. People defending the right to smoke pot. It is offensive. It is stinky. It causes people to be lazy. It doesn't cause them to be chill. People who smoke pot can be very violent. So that's all a lie. Oh, I hate that 6-7 crap. That was started by the kids. And I'm not hating on those of you that use it, but I am going to be hard on it. I don't like it. I don't approve of it. People got to make their choices. I don't agree with that, Jiggly. Well, then you could use crack and barbiturates and PCPs too. I mean, it's the same thing as legalizing gay marriage. And they said it. It's funny how the human brain works. People that are against the gay thing say, well, if you legalize gay, then they want to legalize pedophilia. And guess what they're doing? MAPS, minor attracted persons. We legalize medicinal. All that is a Trojan horse. Anybody knows they can run to their doctor and be friends with them and get a quick prescription pass to live a life of marijuana usage, whether they need it or not. The bars and gates of society are being torn down. The restrictions that God has been putting in place. Look at what Psalm 2 says. Read it. Read it. Read what it says in Psalm 2. That is prophecy, by the way. It has not been fulfilled. Why are the nations in an uproar and the peoples devising a vain thing? The kings of the earth take their stand and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Let us tear their fetters apart and cast away their cords from us. What does it mean by fetters and cords? Your rules and laws, we don't want them, God. We want our pot, we want our sex, we want to marry who we want to marry. Get away from us. He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. Then he will speak to them in his anger and terrify them in his fury. And this is what God says, but as for me, I have installed my king upon Zion, my holy mountain. The world is coming on a collision course. That's what Armageddon is. God will do a reverse rapture. At the end of the tribulation, survivors from all across the globe will be raptured and deposited in the valley of Megiddo to take on God himself. And that's a joke. That's how you get blood flowing as high as the horse's bridles for a distance of 200 miles. That's the survivors that make it through 7 years of judgments. Hollywood cannot even produce what the tribulation is going to be like. Talk about the birds coming to the supper to feast on princes, captains. Pluck out the eyes of all these dead people. And people get mad at me. I had a woman get mad. I'm 67 and you peed me off when you talked about marijuana. Oh, well, I've seen the effects of it. I've watched people use it. I cannot live in the same building or house with people who use it. It stinks. They don't care about us, smokers. We got a bunch of smokers at work. They take extended and multiple breaks throughout the day to go get a drag. Smokers are so addicted, they waste company time to feed their addiction. That would be like me taking a toilet break every hour to relieve myself, not just to wee-wee. I don't relieve myself at work. I'm there to work, not spank the monkey. Carol, medications that are prescribed like antibiotics is a whole different story than drugs. And no, I'm not defending Big Pharma at all. Big Pharma is a problem, but Big Pharma gave us Oxycontins. I don't take them, not Oxycontins, opioids. I don't take that. When I got a prescription for it, when I hurt my finger, I never filled it. I'm not taking Oxycontin or opioids. Not doing it. I know a man personally who was drinking alcohol and doing Oxycontin. I believe he's since delivered and stopped doing it. I know not everybody agrees with me, but does that mean I should hide my view? You cannot please everybody. It is impossible. Hey, Mr. Z. I've never heard of that, Mr. Z. I'm not familiar with that. Hello, but why? Hello, Greenstone. And guess what? Watch this. We all have something we struggle with. Mine is lust. I don't struggle with marijuana or theft or alcohol or scratch tickets or Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes. I have no desire to steal, do drugs, or drink one beer. I'm not into women who like to drink regularly. They turn me off. But there's some women that come into this chat. If they were alone with me in this room and took their shirt off, I'm done. That's my drug. We all got something. Hello, Ty, and welcome. Hello, Sharoni. Da-da-da-da-dun-dun. My Sharoni. Soup. I got more addiction than fingers. Oh, my. You got a buffet, huh? Don't forget to eat your peas and broccoli now. Nate, how are you? Hey, Ty, I'm with you. There are some people that hide behind their guns. They talk about their guns. And it's like, okay, cool, you got guns. So do I, man. Look at my guns, baby. I have the right to keep and bear arms. I do it every day. I believe in the right to keep and bear arms, but people who go on and on about their weapons is another kind of, why do you need to tell everybody that you're armed? Why? Is it a macho dysfunction? I blasted them in on the hello, Liliana. I never drank up like, never tried to smoke, never did any of that. Never. You can count to 21. Clark, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm really glad that you can do that. Can you say your ABCs backwards? Neither can I. Moving right along. So, I'd have to look at the alphabet to say the letters backwards. I knew there was something wrong when the greatest piece of knowledge to confront my soul in school was when ABC's and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star were set to the same tone. I was disappointed. It was then that I began to realize it's all a plot. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How I wonder what you are. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Up above the sky so high. Q, R, S, T, U, V. How sad I was when I discovered this insane reality. Then I knew it was all a plot, a sinister plot to control us. Starkle, starkle, little twink, how I wonder why you stink. If you'd grab that aerosol can, I might not faint as a macho man. That smell coming from your underarm might cause me mental harm. It's spelling, yes. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? To be programmed by the TV set, of course. Children, don't touch that dial. Use the commercials to go to the toilet. Use the commercials to raid the pantry of your favorite snack. But don't miss our brainwash. We talk about how when you watch YouTube and Facebook that they send ads, and people are complaining about that. Bruh, they were doing it when we were kids. When you turn on Saturday morning cartoons, they were pushing all the Generous Mills garbage cereal. Part of the nutritious part of this breakfast. Sugar, sugar, and more sugar. Second ingredient. Wheat flour, sugar, 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 artificial flavoring, FD&C number red, FD&C number pink, FD&C number yellow. Oh, yeah. And then you wonder why the kids are going all day on the bus, in the classroom. Does it have anything to do with the junk we, IV'd into their arm all day? Let's give them candy. Let's give them Tang, Kool-Aid, High C, Nestle's Quick. Sugar, 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 bum, 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 bum. Sugar pie, honey bunch, everything sugar. The kids are poisoned with sugar. Cancer cells see sugar and they go, oh yeah, party going on right here. We'll have a celebration to last throughout the year. I'll infect your intestines and your skin too. Cancer gonna have a party and celebrate with you. Oh yeah. Sugar. Yeah, General Mills is evil. Watch a YouTube video on them. The stuff that killed rats, that was banned by the FDA. General Mills changed the name of it and they still insert it in your foods. General Mills has an agenda, folks. Did you know they were burning down Indonesian jungles to produce palm oil? Burning down entire jungles to produce palm oil. Did you know that? Did you know there was a guy that took a clunker big boat car and only used 2 gallons of gas to go 100 miles? He ended up dead. I wonder what happened to him. Did he crash his car? No. Did the auto manufacturers? Did the oil companies? Somebody did something. Yeah, see, there's a lot of things they don't want us to know. And that's why when people look at me, they go, you're 60? Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. If I'm reading your name right. Are you 60? We ought to have a 60-something party. We'll all come wearing skimpy shirts and do the luau, the limbo. I'm not even going to go down under that bar backwards on my... No. Hello, LaSira. Hey, we got to have fun. I'm 65, top that. We got the geriatrics here, and who says we may be old, but we ain't dead yet. I don't need Viagra, I need Downagra. Do you remember the commercial on Saturday morning cartoons? I'm a yuck mouth, dangling green teeth, and it was supposed to get you to brush your teeth. I'm a yuck mouth. Notice what we're talking about. We were educated back then and we didn't know it. TV was a mantra. What did we just say? Conjunction, junction, what's your function? How a bill becomes a law. We know that stuff. Drilled into us. And we forget. This young generation's got the same thing, but they're not teaching them conjunction, function. They're teaching them how to change their conjunction into a different function. Do you not see it? We don't have Fat Albert anymore. We've got obese everybody anymore. We got plus size and BBW and the big supersize store where you can buy pennies this wide. You can fit them on a trash can. We've been programmed, people. It's okay to be big. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be Democrat, but you can't be conservative and you can't fear God and you can't be a white male. Boom. That's not okay. They want you on drugs. They want you on pot. They want you on medications. They want you to watch TV. They want you to drown in porn. They want to encourage same sex so that there's no more babies with our race. If you do this, you don't get pregnant. If you do this, you don't get pregnant. They're good with that. Is that good or bad, Lysyra? If I'm saying your name right. Why do you think Facebook and everybody's promoting gayness? E-Rock told me his brother still lives in upstate New York, and he saw that they were pushing the book fairs and the books they're pushing on children with graphic content where Billy can explore sexuality, and it talks about inserting this into a bum in children's books. Hey, Tabs, thank you, and thanks for the sub and the like. Folks, I'm weird, but I am not insane. Yes, truer. Ask E-Rock. He's at work right now, but he's listening. Stay tuned for chats. He'll tell you. Oh, I'm different. Hello, Dave. No, we really are. And if we're Christians, we're a peculiar people, the Bible says. And the problem is when Christians try to fit in, we're not going to fit in, folks. We weren't designed to. We're going to walk contrary to the ways of this world. We should. We should be putting our finger into the eye to the society. We should stop worshiping celebs and dogs and SUVs and guns. We should worship God. What a concept. You got Christians walking around with their NRA shirts and I support my constitutional right. Oh, you're such a bold witness for guns. What a gospel we need. People are going to hell. I saw a guy at the flea market ripped, hurting his children on the back of his faded pink shirt that had been washed too many times. Kill all pedophiles. Why would you wear that? Mike, does that, but no, it doesn't bother me, but what is your point? Most people out there agree, but why would you wear that? Thank you, Clark. Why it'd be like, I saw an Australian guy ripped, almost 7 feet tall in Hong Kong, arms that big around, muscular, and he had a tight shirt on that said 100% testosterone. Why would you wear that? Does that make me look at you and go, oh, I wish I could be like you? I could still outrun you, clown. I could still get into small areas. You got to go into hiding. You're going to have a hard time. I can slither through a crack and your muscles will get in the way. You know, we all got our advantages, man. I like being small. I'm seeing it at work. Everybody they've hired said, Mike, I'm not climbing up there. You need to go get that. Oh, you're going to make me do it, huh? Because I can. You don't need to worship anything but God, Jiggly. Why does your ID look like Jiggly Butt? You need to change that. I don't want to see a grown man with Jiggly Butt. I know it says butt, but Jiggly Butt. I'm not into jiggly things. I don't even like it with ladies that got, well, soft tatas and they're going like this with them. That's gross. So classless. Yeah, Saturday cartoons. We grew up. We had super friends. They were saving the universe from evil. Then they started with My Little Pony, Rainbow Bright. Then we knew things were going wrong when they advertised a grown boy doll. My buddy and me gonna climb a tree. My buddy. A man now can have a dolly. I'm so glad I just graduated high school. I'm done with Saturday. I gotta go to work now. Silly Wabbit. Cartoons are not for kids anymore. They're adult crap being pushed on children. Dating is profit driven. Dating is also driven to divide and conquer and destroy us. And we as Christians are guilty of buying into the dating culture. I am, you are, because we date and we mate. They're called MINI, mini marriages. You date, you go to bed, you break up. God isn't going to bless when you don't do things His way, and we lie to ourselves and we deceive ourselves. I challenge you to date a woman without kissing on her, without hands up the shirt, without being naked and tempting and tantalizing each other. Do that for a year and marry her. I bet you things will go a little bit better for you, but I could be wrong. But no, we're a TV dinner society. Rip the wrapping off, throw it in the microwave, ding, eat it up, throw the tray in the trash. There goes another relationship. And every time we do that, we collect our jar of hearts. We leave more scars. And then we wonder why people don't trust. We wonder why people aren't nice. And we wonder why everything doesn't work because we didn't do it the way God wanted us to do it. And because even me as a man, if a woman's going to lift up her shirt and wants me to touch those, I'm going to because, well, she's letting me. But don't be surprised if a mind says, well, that was fun, but I don't want to marry her. Why? I don't have to wait anymore. But hold on. Could I still meet a woman who affects me so much that even though I've seen her naked, I still want her? Of course. But our society's not conducive to that anymore. Women are taught they don't need a man. Men are taught the wrong thing about manhood in our culture today. And it started when I was a kid. TV dinners were the bomb in the day. Now they're ridiculous, expensive. You go to KFC and it's $10 for a pot pie. Really? The pot pie's pretty large. Man, if I'm going to get a pot pie, I want one this big. A pot. Thank you. With meat chunks, peas and carrots. Forget all that. Fight Club single serving friends. Hi, Trogord. I don't even know what a friend is anymore. E-Rock and Mob are my two male friends. I haven't had friends in years, and they're friends. They came over to meet me here. I've had several women say they were going to come by. I was hoping they would. Never happened. Women are good at making all kinds of statements, but not delivering. My channel is full. And I noticed something yesterday. Oh my gosh, somebody messaged me. I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you, blah, blah, blah. I really want to meet you. And I respond, and then nothing. It's like they feel enough guilt to respond, and then they go back to the same thing. Why do women do this to me? They want to leave me on a tantalizing, that carrot on the string. I'll leave another comment, Michael. Yeah, Scooby Snack. We're dumb that way, guys. We're dumb. We're stupid. Everybody's on a sinking ship. Do you have a lifeboat? I do. It's called Jesus Christ. Enjoy the cruise because it's going down, folks. I got my lifeboat reserved. Sometimes I just wonder, do I got to ride it down with the stern like on the Titanic, wait for the escalator to go down and then just swim off? Or if you got Jesus, you got the lifeboat. It is going down, man. The orchestra's playing. The Emmys still go. The Super Bowl still runs. Everything's going on, but the ship is tipping more and more and more and more. Now you got Raccoon Woman in the Olympics. I'm sorry. A raccoon. We got a raccoon on ice skates. Have you seen that? And people are getting mad at me because this is what's happened. We're getting used to this. Alyssa Liu, or whatever your name is, man, every time I hear that, I think of Lou, Elu, and all that. Why do we got to look like freaks now? I'm sorry. Dorothy Hamilton. What is Bigo? Alyssa Liu. She's the Olympic skater. She's got her hair. It's blonde, black, blonde, black. She looks like a raccoon. Talking about a woman that works in a noodle shop. Now, I've missed that one. A noodle shop. I had a picture of her the other day, but I got rid of it. Who's Harry? I'm not Mr. Potter. I don't run the school of witchcraft and wizardry. I rebuke it all. But I do have something. I have a couple of somethings. I've yet to find the door that this key goes to, and when I do, I'll let you know what's behind it. I found this on a school bus in Spokane. When I saw this, I thought, why does this look like something Harry Potter would have? So I started collecting old keys. I think they're fun. Sometimes I'll take my chain, the small one, and put all three, and people say, Mike, do you have the keys to the city? I said, but of course. Only some get to go in with me. It's fun. And you can hang things like this on your belt loop. I heard something. What is it? Oh, it's a piece of schist. Schist almost sounds like the cuss word. It's a stone. It's called schist. That's right, Trogard, and a teenager or whatever. We get caught up in celebs, and celebs can do what they want because they're good at something. People will criticize me wearing this, but if I were to become famous, if I was to be an actor, watch what happens. I could market this look. Grown men will be going out and buying this stuff. People do that. They're sheep, man. Sheep. Buick Potter. What is Buick Potter? Clark, what the heck is Buick Potter? Chrysler Cardi. The new Chrysler Cardi. Oh, I don't think I want to drive that. I don't think I want to drive a Cardi Chrysler. I hate these new cars. I hate them. They cannot be worked on easily. Everything's electronic. Everything breaks. Everything's junk. And they want so much money for this crap. Pontiac Potter. That's right, Vicky. How are you? The Love Scam. Oh, we could have a new TV show instead of the Lust Boat. We could have the Love Scam. Stripping you of your entire wallet. The Love Scam. Oh, Captain, where are we going today? The Bermuda Triangle, sweetie. Oh, really? That sounds wonderful. Yeah, you'll never come out alive. Honey, what is that noise? I think the captain said we're sailing through the Bermuda Triangle. Honey, have you heard what happened? I don't believe in that stuff. Honey, ships have disappeared in there, and they've never been found again. Ah, honey, you don't need to worry about anything. This is the scam boat. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous, but why? Just put a straight pipe from the engine out the back. All your neighbors will love you. Every time you start your car at 2 in the morning, everybody in the neighborhood will salute you. Vicky, I would go for that. Yeah, I got a 99 F-150. I don't like it. Things are starting to fail. I need to upgrade, and upgrading new is not the way. I look at old trucks, and they're old now. They're old. They're rotting. They're crumbling, and they want $10,000 where the floor pans are missing, and you can't get parts for this anymore, and forget it. We're stuck. The golden age of old has gotten too expensive. The new stuff is crap. And if I had to drive a Prius, I would need to see a therapist on a daily basis. Driving any of these cars would psychologically cause me problems. When I had my M35, I enjoyed that truck because I felt at peace with the world. I know that sounds stupid. I will not drive a Prius. Tattoo, the plane. It's a multi-level marketing scheme. I remember the Sunbird. I got that as a rental car when I had the accident in Ohio. The Sunbird LE. Pontiac went away. They had the Grand Am and the Grand Prix. I remember the Grand Am was a hot seller when I lived in Minnesota in 2006. Now you don't even see those on the road anymore. I get up early every day. You got a pretty picture. I need to look closer at that lie. Look at that beautiful head of hair. I'd like to run my fingers through that. A lot of people swear by Subarus. I live in the South here. You don't see them. People buy what they can afford. You see the Impalas. Lots of Kias down here. Hey, Ryan. You've had another, I'm sure you've had many. Colette, come on, stop aging before your time. We old, but we ain't dead yet, girl. We're the new generation. We're not the geriatrics. We're not going to sit here and talk about Plavix. We're not going to sit here and compare walkers and hearing aids and bell tones and handrails in the bathtub. When I got my walk-in shower, my walk-in bathtub, I can sit down and I've even got a back scratcher. I don't want to get old like that. I don't want to sit with a bunch of old people in church. I got to get my hips replaced today. My wife and I decided to get our butts lifted. No more wrinkles, no more sag. Now we walk around like we're hung on a meat hook. I don't think it's hypothetical. I mean, we get old, but it's relative. We get old because of radiation. Before the flood, Methuselah made it to 960 years old. Can you imagine all the history we've seen? My word. Methuselah. People call him meth for short. Meth, what's up? Methuselah would really have one up on all. Y'all talking about how hard it is. Let me tell you a story about 900 years ago. We didn't have a car. I didn't even have a horse. Carol, that's funny. But then you got people here, they got loud, and they make all that. This guy left the laundromat one day a couple of years ago when I was going to the laundromat. I'm standing out front. This guy starts a Dodge truck out, and he goes to take off. And he gets up to 5 miles an hour. And I looked at this other guy, and he looked at me, he goes, wow, all that noise to go 5 miles an hour. I said, isn't that stupid? Do you suffer from small phallus syndrome? SPS. It is real, folks. The need to overcompensate by revving your engine, playing your boom boom loud to let everybody know that you suffer from SPS. Well, there's hope. I really believe that. My cousin said it years ago. The people that show off with their trucks and make all the noise are suffering SPS. There is a cure for that. It's called deal with it. Stop advertising the world that you have a little smoky or Vienna sausage. Then no one will know and things are fine. They sell pumps. A bicycle pump for your smoky. Pop! Oh, now we got a problem. It's like that bratwurst in the microwave when it was on too long. It's really sad. Thank you, but why? You have a good day at work? Don't play with the mini Franks. Yeah, frosted mini wheats, baby. Not my cup of tea. And yes, I've noticed something in my travels, and I'm not being gross. But I went to a steam bath many times, and I noticed something because you're all sitting in there naked, and you can't help but people sitting across from you. And I noticed a very strange dichotomy. The bigger the man, the smaller the thing. The smaller the man, the bigger the thing. Men who would have discussions about this. Man, how come these small little people come in here and they got this big old baseball bat and the big guys can't find it? I started laughing so hard. I said, I'm not the only one who noticed that. That sounds so funny. Take care, but why? Buy the couch. If I can get it in the door. That's right, Carol. Trugger, some of it doesn't have to do with that. Just like a woman's breast, same thing with the wiener. The diversity of wieners is quite manifest. The diversity of breasts. You got large areolas, small areolas. You got tiny little pink nipples. You got a smooth pink silver dollar thing and no nipple. You've got inverted nipples. You've got nipples as thick as my finger. You've got chocolate nipples. You've got the diversity of breasts is amazing. That's why lust appeals to us, because men never get tired of looking at the diversity of all the different pretties out there. But men and women are not the same. Women do not look at men and look at that thing and go, wow. They don't do that. Women were gifted with something that we don't have. We get excited about just looking at a woman from the waist on up. Women, they got to feel something. They got to feel something towards us. It's all about feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Why did he make us so opposite, contrary, convoluted? And then he said, watch this. I'm going to tell them that they got to get married to each other, and God's up there going, oh, this is going to be a good fight. He's munching on his popcorn, watching the movie. Look at these guys. They're going at it down there. Holy moly. You know, we talk about everything here, no holds barred at the OK Corral. We serve up a little something for everybody. The look at how a man walks and holds himself. Yes, Colette. Women are impressed with image more than heart. If I was to wait like this, oh, he looks so fine. Michael, you need to change your glasses so you can look more dignified. Really? I wore the suit and tie, and now it's the glasses. Your hair's over your ears. You need to get it trimmed and look like a gentleman. Do you want my thing to look like a gentleman too? Should I put a suit and tie on it? There's a joke. You guys are going to have to listen and not chat away and miss this one. Stupid, but it's funny. Man and his wife went to this exquisite restaurant. The waiters were dressed up. And every time they brought the food, it came in on silver platters with the silver dome. They'd bring the platter, set it down, lift the dome, take tongs, set the item on the plates. Everything was done very, very, very sterile and efficient. And the man leaned to the waiter and said, wow, you guys do things with class here. And, you know, I notice you do everything. And when you go to the bathroom, how do you, you know, how you don't touch anything. How do you take it out? And the guy opens his sport jacket and he's got a string. And he said, this little string, you can lift it up. Oh. So then as he's serving them with the tongs, he says, well, how do you put it back in? He said, well, that's what the tongs are for. I'm not eating there again. The moment a woman can separate her feelings from sex, yeah, ew is right. Don't go to the Tong Tong restaurant. But women are interesting. They can have sex just to please a man, even though their heart's not in it. I cannot do that. If my heart ain't into her, I cannot do it. I can't get aroused. I'm not even going there. No clothes are coming off. No, 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 more no. I'm not going to fake it until I make it because I can't do it. When a man loves a woman, he goes absolutely crazy and blows his wallet away. Hey, Derek. A skin fade? What's a skin fade? What if I was with a man? No. Michael likes women. I could not date a man, live with a man. I won't even have a male as a roommate. Even my closest friends. I don't want another man living in my house. Not comfortable with that. I either live alone or I have a woman at my side. No middle ground there. Sean, I think there's truth to that. Somebody asked me years ago, Mike, what if an 80-year-old woman wanted to marry you and said you could have her whole estate? I'd say no. Why would I hook up with an 80-year-old because she's got the riches? Most men told me, Mike, I'd do it because you love money. If I don't love her, let me tell you something, ladies. If you're poor and I love you, I don't care. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're rich and I don't love you, I don't care what you got. I'm not doing that. I will not use a woman. God has taught me that I need to depend on him, not somebody else. And a lot of people tend to depend on each other, and that is the biggest mistake in any relationship. You'd better learn to depend on God first. See his hand in your life. And until you do, you better not marry somebody because you never want to depend on your wife or your husband. Now, I'm not talking about two fiercely independent people butting heads, but that woman should not make man her Lord. And I should not make that woman my queen Lord. There is no such thing as kings and queens in a marriage. There is the Lord Jesus Christ, as he's the King of Kings. You're my wife. I'm your husband. You're not my queen. I'm not your king. The Lord Jesus is our king. You love me, woman. I will love you with the best I can give you. But guess what? I'm sinful. I make mistakes, and so do you. And I'm going to say it again, men and women, until you start pooping scented poop, start being realistic about your own dang self. Because I've never met anybody to date that when I come out of the bathroom, it smells scented in the toilet. I've looked high and low, and it doesn't exist. I haven't dated in 8 years, no. Can't do that. I was about to rip open a ginger chew. E-Rock is at work. I promise you, will come in here and make a comment the second I open that thing. Modern feminism, yes, it has. But I was hard on the men the other day. I said men pretending they're masculine by revving their accelerator pedal and hiding behind a lift kit. Grow the poo up. Just because you got a loud truck doesn't mean you're a man. It means you're a little boy showing off your little toy. You're overcompensating for something. Yeah, Trogert, I agree. All right, folks. Got to make breakfast, got to go to the salt mines, got to deal with the unfolding drama of watching another employee about to go down in flames. We'll see if she shows up today, number one. And if she does, is she going to get it together? Supervisor was out. He was sick yesterday. He's been getting a lot of stuff, and he has kids. And I don't want to catch that. What do they call it? What the heck do they call it? The super strain. Nice. What's causing all this plethora of weird things? Warehouse, man. I work in shipping. Do not hold your tongue and say ship. Don't do it. Kids on the bus asked me that years ago, and I'm glad I thought that out. And I said, no, I'm going to pass. Hi, Miriam. How are you? Miriam's got a pretty picture. I like pretty pictures. My mommy says I'm a handsome man. Clark, that's good. Everybody needs to be validated. Why do you like it when I zoom in? Maria, there's an awesome song by Men at Work that I love. An awesome song by Men at Work called Maria. That's an awesome song. I'm old. I'm going to be 60 next week. Shut up about the old, please. We're the new gen. I haven't checked yours. I see you, Miss True Crime. Tennessee's got a dog. Trogert has got, I don't know what that is. Is that a Pokemon thing? Tabs has got his family. Wait. No, that's a her and a daughter. It's hard to see these things, man. I have to squint. Who's 55? Nope, I'm going to be 60 next week. Men at Work was good, Miriam. Maria comes from a good family. It's good. Ignore it. Miriam, where are you from? Can I ask? You all look young. That's great. Hi, Essie. I like it when people at least put something in the the little profile thing. Florida. Oh, you must be getting away from all the snow. I saw they got blasted the other day. I better go, folks. Please like and subscribe. Come back again. Clark, 5 years difference. Now that's funny. Do I do anything nice for yourself? No. It's just another day. I'm alone. What do I do? I joked out loud yesterday. I said, hey, next week is my birthday. I'm going to take the day off. And the freight guy said, you can't. I said, well, so and so did. He goes, but you're not him. I said, oh, is that how that works? He goes, life's not fair, Mike. I said, yep, when you're a good worker, you're expected to be here every day. I said I could boycott and just say I'm taking a mental health break, go sit in a Mexican restaurant and stare wistfully at the Hispanic waitresses that I can't have. Men at Work was good. Oh, it's cold in Georgia. I'm just above you, Maria. The wind is bitey. Hey, True Crimes. You got 18 inches. Oh my gosh. Men at Work was a rock band in the 80s. Do you come from a land down under? Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come around here no more. Can't you see that it's late at night? I'm very tired. Now I'm not feeling right. All I wish is to be alone. So go away. Don't you invade my home. Who can it be now? Bum, bum, bum. Good music. Yeah, that's when it's good time to just put another log on the fire. I remember that song. What is trafficked? You're a waitress? I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Human Condition. Don't you want me, baby? Anybody remember that one? Clark, are you from Australia? Genesis, Metallica, yep. Maria, can I ask, how old are you? There was another song about Maria in The Sound of Music. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Remember that? That was a good musical. No way. You're 55? I wish I could zoom in that photo. That hair is awesome. I love long hair on a lady, I'm not going to lie. Long hair moves to the front of the line. You get the e-ticket at the rides. Long hair gets to bypass the big long line and shoop. I'll never forget when I was in 6th grade, we had a grad party, went 300 miles away from the town of Mammoth Lakes to LA, to Anaheim, went to Disneyland, and I was laughed at school. So I wandered around Disneyland by myself, and this very pretty girl, will you ride with me on Space Mountain? I said, yes. She and I were standing in line talking, and many of the legends in their own mind from my 6th grade class, Billy Leach and others, came by. Mike, who's that? I said, a friend. They were talking about that on the bus. did you see Mikey was with some hot, pretty girl? Oh my gosh. They went on the ride. They were talking. Yeah, it sucks to be you guys, huh? Y'all made fun of me, and guess who asked me to sit by them on the roller coaster? So stupid, It was just for a ride, man. But that's all it took in a sixth grader's mind is to be seen once. And that's all it took. What does he got going on that we don't? Everything, bro. Wait till you see my YouTube channel in 50 years. I don't see any of you clowns on here. I'll bet you're balding like a skunk down the middle, got a hairy white tummy this big, and you're sitting there with your beer can and your old lady, and you thought you were cool in sixth grade. You're going, hey, honey, did you pay the light bill? No, I forgot. I can tell. All those people that thought they were so cool back then. I'd love to see those cheerleaders. I'd love to see those stuck-up, rude, snotty cheerleaders in high school and see them now. I bet you could cue in Jabba the Hutt. And I walk in the room. What the heck's going on in here? Oh my gosh, is that Mike Nelson? He was such a squirrel. We all hated him. Who were you? Oh, I was Denise. I was on the ski team. Denise Jensen? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize you. Life has a way of doing that, doesn't it? He abases the proud and he exalts the humble. I didn't go to any of them because I moved around so much. Carol, have a good one. Carol, cheer up. You can always come back and get a smile in here. Chat is our escape from a cold, clinical, unsterile world. All right, folks. Time for me to exit stage right. Suffering succotash. I have to go to work. Oh, it was getting frizzy and tangly, and I thought it was time to clean it. But if you notice, it's coming back fine. I just wish I could push a button. I wish it would grow like a chia pet. I wish I could push a button, accelerate it, and have it down to my waist, and I could do commercials. I can't believe it's not butter, Fabio. I can. Come back, Maria, and thank you, and Twisted, and Diane, and everybody, and Ryan, and Clark, and it is Clark, and I'm thankful. All right, time to go. Be safe. Colette, I'm glad you're surviving. Gerald, if you're still here, I hope things go better for you. Maria, I usually come back on in the evening. We're on the same time zone. Usually around 6. But depends on how tired I am after work. 60 years old doing a warehouse job. They weren't doing that when I was a kid. They were sitting there telling the grandkids stories. You guys have a good one. All right. That would be awesome. Be fun to get together with everybody and go to some nice restaurant. I could wear this fake shirt. This is classic. This is so not me, but the shirt is just so stupid. I love it. I saw this at the flea market for $2. I said, this is a perfect work shirt. I could walk in and tell my supervisor, due to budget cuts, I'll be taking over your office. You can run the pack table. He'd be like, shut up, man. That'd be fun. They'll get a kick out of this, I promise you. Nice tux. I dare you. I'm going to wear it at work, but it's too cold. I got to wait till it gets warmer. All right, folks. Thank you, everybody. Good to see newcomers. We welcome people all the time. You'll never be bored here, I promise you. Till next time, be safe.